All right, we're back on the sports show now. It's not at the lunch table. We changed the name because we just didn't like it. I don't know. Check out these cool On Blake shirts. They'll be out soon. But other stuff, Cleveland shirts as well. About a month. Different colors than just plain white. I just had to test it out. But let's get into the real show now. But first, I got to talk about college basketball. Do a little rant. So the NCAA just denied Xavier a transfer because they're the NCAA and they suck. So this player has a learning disability and he transferred to Xavier so he could have in-person classes because he was not having them at Hampton. That should be one of those easy yes, check yes, he's accepted. No, the NCAA sucks, and they said no. My big thing is I love Justin Fields, Ohio State fan, and they gave him a waiver when he honestly probably didn't deserve one. Now, this significantly worse situation occurs and they're not giving a waiver. Just there's zero consistency there, and I'm just angry. But that's all. If anyone has anything to say about that, just make fun of me for being a Xavier fan. You can go now.
Yeah, I mean Xavier sucks.
Just
They
the
don't deserve
NCAA,
anything.
man. That's how they operate.
Corrupt.
That's happened before, I think, with a few players. I think one of them was trying to transfer because his mom was sick.
Yeah, the Kentucky guy.
So it's
The one that won the AAF?
me.
Well, we talked about it. Pitt had a transfer coming in, averaging 14 a game, and they denied him his eligibility too. And it was in an ESPN article. And basically, I mean, proven point every time is if you're not a big name, you're not going to get eligibility. But if you're a big name, it's no problem for you, which is bullshit.
I mean, that's like Ohio. Well, was Seth Towns a grad transfer for Ohio State?
Yeah.
Okay, then I'm not gonna complain either. We need him, but all right.
We need everything.
All right, so NBA, free agency, draft. Anthony Edwards went first. Nothing really crazy yet in free agency besides Montrezl Harrell just went to the Lakers, and it's just so frustrating. The Lakers are literally, I don't know. Frank, you can go first. I'm just angry.
All right, I'll talk about the Lakers. Look, I mean, everybody, the Warriors started this, and it's pretty obvious. Everybody made moves, and the Lakers did. They lost some guys. They're defending champs. They lost some people, and I think they knew, and everybody knew they had to go get one more star. That they needed one more star. I didn't think it was going to be him. I thought it was going to be like a DeMar DeRozan or someone like that. But I mean, this kind of steal right here, especially from your crosstown rivals, the Clippers, who got bounced in second round. And so now they have the sixth man of the year and the runner up for sixth man of the year, which was Dennis Schroeder on their team. So they loaded up, and I love it.
And they just got Wesley Matthews.
Yeah, and they got Wesley.
I love Wesley Matthews.
Their bench just got so much better. I mean, Wesley's probably even going to start with. Isn't KCP probably going to leave?
KCP's gone.
Yeah, now he's definitely gone. Yeah.
So I mean, they got significantly better. I mean, if the Warriors were to do something like this, or any non-LeBron team, you guys would be freaking out right now. But just because it's LeBron's team,
I don't think so.
I don't mind.
When Kevin Durant went to the Warriors, that's just a horrible thing.
Yeah, but that's not Kevin Durant.
I mean, you got 3 six men of the years basically.
Here's my take. Here's my
six
take.
Man, though, like not MVPs.
You already had 2 MVPs. You didn't need a third.
Go ahead, Luke.
When it first happened, yeah, everyone was mad. But I think now, after this last couple of years, it's like that's what you got to do at this point. If you're gonna want to compete for a championship, you got to go get some studs, and you got to kind of build a bit of a super team to compete. So I don't really. If other teams are doing it, then you know what? That's the NBA right now. So
all right,
Jarman,
time out. This is not a Kevin Durant move, so we need to pipe down on that. I mean, listen. What Kevin Durant did, basically, when LeBron left the Cavs the first time, he could have went to the Celtics, and then that would have been a Kevin Durant move. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, he joined 2 All-Stars down in Miami. He didn't just join an already built team. They just had to build it.
Did he join the team that beat him? Did he join the team that beat him?
No, he joined a better team.
And what was that
significantly
team's record
better
before
team.
he got there? What was that team's record before he got there?
They didn't have Chris Bosh, so who cares?
Okay, but the point
So
is,
Chris
wherever
Bosh
he
made the
goes,
move,
he wins. He wins wherever he goes.
Yeah, because he's amazing. Who's denying that? But now
Okay,
you're just
but-
bringing in if he's so amazing, let's go win without 100 million stars on your team.
He did
When?
in Cleveland his first time.
Kyrie, Kevin Love,
He took
not stars.
Boobie Gibson to the finals.
Did he win a finals that year?
Oh my
Oh
god!
no, he didn't win a finals. Okay, got it.
Against the 3 Hall of Fame.
No, I'm not saying he
Spurs.
should have won it that year, but you're saying he won. He didn't win a finals.
Okay, but I'm saying what he did. Yeah, he started it, but like what he did is not as bad as some of these other guys are doing. I mean, that is insane. That was insane.
It's a very comparable
And
situation.
let me clear this up too. Let me clear this up because you see a lot of this going around. LeBron was a free agent. These guys are forcing their ways out of their teams. They're demanding trades. The Hardens, the Westbrooks.
Kevin Durant
he was
didn't
a free.
force his way out.
Okay, but the other people are
But that's the one that you were saying so horrible. And Harden
because that is horrible.
Harden's not even out yet.
Who's
So
the greatest team of all time?
That's like Pat Mahomes. I mean, like what? That's insane. I mean, that is literally insane to me. Like, I mean, that's like LeBron joined the Celtics.
LeBron
Kawhi
joined
coming
two
to
All-Stars.
Kawhi leaving, going to join the Lakers right now. Like
LeBron joining the Heat is very similar to Kevin Durant joining the Warriors. They had Curry and Clay, who are amazing, and then Draymond. So that's the third step that makes it a little worse. But I mean, you already had Bosh and Wade there.
is Chris Bosh a Hall of Famer?
Yes. He's a no doubt
What?
first ballot. Yes.
Chris
That's
Bosh?
pretty unanimously.
Yes.
Chris Bosh is a Hall
Dude,
of
I
Famer.
don't know.
He changed the name. He changed for stretch fours. Like
Yes.
he
I
made
I don't
stretch
know
fours.
about Chris Bosh being a Hall of Famer.
He is.
Two-time NBA champion, gold medalist.
Sorry.
All right,
insane
all
numbers.
right. But I'm gonna go back to my point. I'm gonna go back. When KT joined the Warriors, their record was what 73-9 before him.
Yeah.
And correct me if I'm wrong. Isn't that the greatest record in NBA history?
Mm-hmm. No, it's a little worse.
So that
than
should
LeBron's.
that should wrap it up right there. That should
No,
wrap
it's
it up
worse
right
than
there.
LeBron's, but it's still bad. LeBron's is still bad. I mean, there's no way to describe that not being bad. The team won 2 rings because they all teamed up in Miami. You don't add
Yeah, they
LeBron to
still-
that team, it's not going to probably win a champ. It might get to a championship, might win one. So it's still a pretty good team.
I mean, I don't know about that. I don't think they get to a championship without LeBron.
I mean, that's Wade and Bosh. That's 2 pretty darn good players together.
Yeah, but you
He's
got the
pretty weak during
Celtics
that
still.
time. And if
You got
LeBron's
the-
not in the East, especially say he leaves the Cavs or he stays on that Cavs team, that Cavs team's goodish. I mean, they didn't really go anywhere, those Cavs teams. They made Eastern Conference semis. They made 1 finals in 2007, then didn't do anything after that.
Okay, the point is, besides the LeBron and KD argument, is they loaded up. Everybody else is loading up. I mean, what do you want? They made moves. They signed free agents. It's not like these are KD and LeBron caliber players. I mean, these are great role players, and they did their job.
If they go get a DeRozan, then at this point, after signing
I
all
mean,
these
they're-
guys, then will you at least admit it?
If they go get DeRozan, then I mean, yeah, they're a super team. That's bad.
If they get
Like,
DeRozan, that's
they
the
are gonna
greatest
make
team of
another
all
move.
time.
but like to that point, is that like LeBron's fault though? Like, no.
No, of course. If I'm a Lakers fan, I want to make all these moves, but it's soft.
Yeah.
Like, don't like. I just think it's soft. Like, you're making like one of the greatest teams. This Lakers team is probably what, a top 10 team of all time now. This year,
Yeah, but like I
if
mean,
they don't win a ring,
you
it's
thi-
a pretty big
if you
disappointment.
think about that, but then you don't. I mean, unfortunately, Klay Thompson tore his Achilles. But if he didn't do that, that team's still loaded. You know what I mean? Like
I'm not buying. I wasn't gonna buy into that Warriors anyways, because you have Curry
they
coming
still
off
have
injuries,
Wiggins, right?
Clay coming off injury. Wiggins
sucks.
sucks. He doesn't care about basketball, and then maybe a good Wiseman. We don't know how he is.
All right.
Wait,
A
am
lot
I
of question
stupid,
marks.
or I thought didn't Golden State have D'Angelo Russell?
No,
yeah, they traded him for Wiggins.
Where's D'Angelo Russell at?
Minnesota.
Minnesota.
Timberwolves. Yeah.
Oh, did that just happen, or is this?
Last
Middle
year.
of the season last year.
Yeah.
Dude, I know nothing about basketball. I'm just staying quiet.
Good choice.
Yeah, but like
But-
I mean, I don't know.
All right. Besides that, for NBA free agency, De'Aaron Fox, he signed the max.
Yeah.
That's a
I
weird
did
one.
see that.
Danilo Gallinari to the Hawks. That makes them like a playoff team now. Should be at least.
They
Oh,
will
yeah,
be.
he's good. He's very underrated.
The Pistons have 65 big men. They signed Jahlil Okafor,
Yeah.
Mason Plumlee. I know what they gave up on
Drummond.
Christian Wood.
Oh,
I don't even know who their team is, dude.
They stink. Heat got their guys back.
Did the
That's about it.
Cavs sign anybody? For God's sake.
No. Who wants to come to Cleveland? I'm
I
gonna
need
be
Derrick
real.
Jones
They
Jr.
usually get those knockoff like cheap end free agents eventually.
Derrick Jones
sprinkled in
Jr.
there.
Just wait.
Ooh, that'll push us to the playoffs.
Yes.
Oh, and Costa Koufis. Frank, he's coming.
The Greek.
Costa Koufis.
He said he
Costa
wants to play for
Koufis.
him.
Costa, it's Costa.
That's what I said.
You said Costa.
Speaking of the
Same thing.
Cavs, Spain,
No.
the draft.
I've talked
Oh,
myself
you
into it more because our
Same.
defense sucks. But I mean, he can't shoot, can't score. He has no offensive game, so that
He's short.
sucks.
He's only
What?
6'6".
Yeah, I know.
You can't play him really as a stretch four unless you want to do like PJ Tucker.
No.
So
I mean, neither of the guards can defend, so I guess he's going to guard whoever's best out of the 1 through 3 on the other teams. So that'll help.
then
Then
we're
Drummond
gonna throw
inside
like
for however long we have him.
Garland on like a 3. Yeah. Ugh. It just doesn't make
He's a
any
mess.
sense of a draft pick. We have no scoring. All right. Well,
Or defense.
yeah. All right. So, Luke, you want to just get into football?
Yeah, you guys can talk. I don't. I'm
No,
fine.
I
It's
think
your
we're
show,
done.
man. Your show.
Yours too, bud. All right. College football picks. I think I'm in first for against the spread percentage, and then Frank's first for straight up overall. Is that correct?
I didn't look.
No idea.
Sounds right.
I do know
Yeah,
last time
Frank.
we
Oh,
did
it
it.
sounds right.
Last time we did it,
Joe's
I
in
was on
last.
pick Liberty.
We're gonna say
As long
Joe's
as
in last.
that's definitely accurate then.
No, he's probably not even in last, but since he's not here, he's in last. So, all right. Number 9, Indiana, 4-0. Number 3, Ohio State, 3-0. Over under 66.5 minus 20.5. 20.5. Why did I say 20.5? Ohio State's big time favorites. Frank, what you feeling?
For my feel, Ohio State. Huh. I mean, the line shows it.
Yeah.
20.5. I mean, it's a little eye opening that a top 10 team has a 20.5 point underdog, but Ohio State all day.
Luke?
Yeah, I took same thing as Frank. Ohio State, and I took the over. I wasn't 20.5. Yeah, for a top 10 game. I don't know. I don't see that, but
All right, Jake.
The reason Indiana's staying in games is because they're forcing turnovers, and if you watch Justin Field, he doesn't do that. So I'll take Ohio State with 20.5 too.
Yeah, I love that as well. I like Ohio State 20.5 and the over. I think Ohio State could get pretty close to that over by themselves, and their defense hasn't looked that great. So
Yeah,
big
I
time.
like the over too, actually.
All right. Get into the next one for college football. Number 7, Cincinnati, 7-0. 5.5 point favorites versus UCF. Jeez, I'm
There
really
you
struggling
go.
tonight. They're 5-2, total 65.5. I personally love Cincy in this one. I mean, they've just been dominant all year long, and they've just been giving them crappy lines. I know it's in UCF, but who cares?
And
Spain?
it's nice weather. I mean, since he's going to make college football playoffs, so they're going to run through UCF. UCF, sorry. Cincy by at least 17.
UCF is a bit of a fraud. I think so as well.
Yes, for sure.
They're
that
not the
was a
same
pretty
UCF as before.
fraudulent comment, if I must say. But
What
Yeah,
hey, Luke?
I mean,
I think that's a pretty fraudulent comment about Cincinnati making the playoffs. But
Just wait.
we'll let it slide, I guess.
I don't know. If they run the table,
No,
it's hard to leave them out because it would have to be
I
now.
think all.
If Clemson wins the conference championship, that really closes their door.
Yeah.
Actually,
Mm,
because then you'll have a Texas A&M.
yeah,
what
that's,
if Florida wins? What if Florida beats like someone?
Florida still does Florida face Bama in the regular season still?
That's what I
believe-
was wondering. That's why I stopped, because I was going to say, what if Florida beats Bama, but I stopped.
So they have to beat Florida in the regular season and then at least SEC championship. The team that's in the best position is the Texas A&M because they can't make their conference
Yeah.
championship game, so they're not going to lose to Bama again. And then the rest of their schedule is like joke SEC team.
Yeah.
So they're going to be in a
If
great
Cincy-
spot.
If Cincy keeps running teams, that A&M cannot make it over him.
No, especially since they already got crushed by Bama at
Yeah,
home.
exactly.
So I can't put A&M in. Frank, you seem to disagree.
They could, but I think I hated on Cincy earlier. They grew on me a little bit. I think I took Cincy, but I think they can lose this game. I think it's a little like
Yeah.
I mean, you start to get on the map a little bit. Everybody gives you their best shot, so I think they could lose this game for sure. But I got Cincy winning and cover.
Yeah. I really was looking at UCF and I was like, "Who?" I think if out of any games, this would probably be the one. But I'll save some comments when we get into that top 10. But
That's what I was waiting for too. I didn't want to say too much.
I'm not going to trust a team when their quarterback's name is a girl name. So, Cincy all day.
Who?
Mackenzie.
Wait, who? Oh, Mackenzie. Okay. Oh,
That
he's
is
a dog, so-
that's a very fair statement. That actually,
He's a
before we go
dog.
on to the next pick, I gotta ask you guys this: do you guys believe football players can have slow numbers? Like, if a player's wearing like 37, don't they look slow?
I think they can have. I think they can have bad numbers, like not
Yeah.
necessarily slow numbers.
I don't know. Like, some numbers look fast. Like, players that wear number 1, I've never been like, that's a slow number
One.
1.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Every number
I mean,
1
just
looks
for
fast.
just for
1-7.
like example of what I'm saying, like Minka's 39, and I hate that.
And I was gonna say 39 was Willie Parker too, so it's like
Yeah,
It's
it's
a slow
weird.
number.
Like,
I mean,
bro, Willie Parker's nickname was Fast Willie.
I was gonna say like I don't think that really correlates.
But he
But
looks slower. If he wore like 12, 10, those are fast numbers.
I think in basketball, I could see it.
wait, so why are you saying that? What's Mackenzie Milton wear?
No, I just thought because he was
He
talking
says a
about the
girl
girl name, Ben against a girl. I just
Oh,
think
okay. I
low
was
numbers,
like,
and I was just back at
Jay
Ken. He was
Patterson
saying
wore
those aren't
20.
real. What'd
Jay
you say?
Patterson wore 20 at Ole Miss.
He wore what?
He wore 20 at Ole Miss.
He's a
Ole
quarterback
Miss?
wearing 20. That's a slow number. 20.
Oh, dude, I hate that.
Weird.
If-
What was
you got those weird quarterbacks that were like 21 or something. I'm like,
no,
just stop.
what was Devin Gardner? Wasn't he 99?
98. Ugh, slower.
yeah,
than 98.
98.
He's so much slower. He used to be fast, then he got slow. Like, come on.
Yeah.
Speaking of the Big Ten, we've got number 10 Wisconsin there, 2-0, 7.5-point favorites over number 19 Northwestern. They're also 4-0, total of 44.5. Frank, what you feel for this one?
Cheeseheads. Big Ten's overrated still, but cheeseheads.
Luke?
Yeah, I mean I took Wisconsin minus 7.5. I don't know.
I don't know much about those teams.
Who Northwestern beat? Did they beat
Purdue recently. That was
Purdue.
but I thought they had one more
Maryland.
win. Maryland, yeah. I mean that I don't know. That was where I was like, okay, like Northwestern's pretty decent this year, but I still think Wisconsin's hot. So yeah.
I mean, Northwestern they have a good defense, but who have they faced? Now I actually have to face Graham Mertz, and they have solid running back. So I'll take Wisconsin in this until Northwestern proves me wrong.
Yeah, I think Wisconsin's really good this year. I think they're a top 4 team, honestly. Their defense is one of maybe the best in the country.
Joe Harris to the Nets.
They always choke. Always.
This was they're gonna lose to Ohio State, but their defense.
Well, that's what they always lose. They always choke to somebody.
Yeah, I don't think they're gonna lose in the regular season though, and I have them big over Wisconsin. Also, I'm taking the over as well. I think Wisconsin's going to maybe get it by themselves, and Northwestern adds 3-7. So, there's that one. All right. Last game for college football for us. Bedlam, number 14, Oklahoma State. They're 5-1 versus number 18, Oklahoma, 5-2. Sooners are 7-point favorites, total of 59.5. I'm the only one going with Oklahoma State here, straight up, and +7. And I also like the under. Oklahoma State's defense is one of the first in years to play, stop someone in the Big 12. And I think if they can do that, which they didn't do against Texas, so that's one of those scary things. If they get stops, they win this game. So if it's lower scoring, I like Oklahoma State. If Oklahoma's able to move the ball like crazy, I could see Oklahoma winning it, but I'm taking Oklahoma State. Frank?
Boomer Sooner, baby. Oklahoma. Look, I think they started off slow. I mean, Oklahoma's always reminded me of a team that gets stronger as the year goes on. And what's this thing called? The Red River Shootout? Is this what the rivalry is called?
That was versus Texas. Yeah.
That's Texas. I knew one of them was Red River.
This is Bedlam. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. My bad. That kind of just threw off my whole mojo right there. But
well, they won that. They won the Red River.
I know, but I was gonna say and for that case, I'm actually gonna switch and take the over, but I guess not anymore just because of the name change. But yeah, Oklahoma's winning this game in my opinion. I think it's gonna be a close game. I think Oklahoma State could win. Really had to sit down and think about it, but I trust Oklahoma just because they started off slow and I feel like they got something to prove the rest of the season.
Mm-hmm.
Luke?
Yeah. I mean, I'm just a big Spencer Rattler guy, so I don't know.
QB1,
I think
maybe.
Mountain Ball. So yeah, QB1.
He was the worst in QB1.
Any guy that's on QB1, I'm riding with him.
Dude, you should saw him in my Madden franchise.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
Well, I mean, if you remember whenever we did this last, Oklahoma State didn't lose. I told you guys they were frauds. So obviously I'm going to take Boomer Sooner here. I'm actually going to add -7 too because I want to see Spencer Rattler fucking throw that flag and plant it in that field.
I
Tell
don't know.
Oklahoma State to fuck off.
I like
Okay,
Spencer
Boomer.
Sanders.
I thought that was funny.
I love Spencer Sanders. I don't know why. I think he's gonna he's the better quarterback in this one. I think Spencer Rattler stinks. So that's my Oklahoma take. All right. So top 10s. Who wants to go first? Should I give them the people's top 10 first?
Yeah, give them the
that's
people.
interesting.
You get to choose for the people.
I choose for the people. I speak for the people. Ohio State #1, best team in the country. Offense is legit. Their defense will figure it out at some point. Bama, whatever, who cares? They're undefeated. They're #2. Notre Dame, again, whatever. They're undefeated. They're #3. Cincy, top 4 team. They're legit. BYU, they keep winning. They're #5. Wisconsin, Graham Mertz, awesome guy. Wisconsin.
What people you're speaking to.
6-0. Indiana, keep that Big Ten love. #7. This is hard to say with a straight face. #8, Coastal Carolina. Who doesn't love the name Chanticleers? Great name, great football team. Liberty, Flames, another amazing football team name. Great team names. I mean, like this whole top 10, like Hoosiers.
Yeah, when that happens, we'll be dead.
Yeah, Flames. And then #10, Kent State Golden Flashes. Legit. Best offense in the country. I mean,
they're good. They're actually good.
Three Ohio teams all undefeated, man.
Yep. And they're all in my top 10. No bias.
Bold prediction here. Speaking of Kent State, when Narduzzi gets fired, we're going to go after the Kent State guy. Is our head coach.
John Lewis.
Until I graduate from there because I want to see some good football while I'm at Kent State.
Yeah.
John Lewis is amazing, though.
He's a good coach.
Youngest
My
head coach.
sources are telling me he's getting out of there.
Crumb's a dog, too.
Yeah.
So
Crum can actually he's an NFL QB. He's a projected 6th round pick. Like he's good. He can sling it.
I honestly am he's legit.
Akron also stinks and them blowing out Akron just got the juices.
Let's get him to 1803, baby.
I mean what? Is it 18 straight that Akron's lost now?
They're so bad.
20, I
Shout
think.
out Marco, baby. Special teams 5-8.
Yeah, I talked to him on Wednesday after the game. So
What he said?
He said, "Did you watch the game last night?" I said, "Oh, I watched that game, buddy. That 69-point game."
He made sure he kept it in the camera shot.
I turned it on and it was like in the 4th quarter and you guys were killing them. And I actually turned it on right at the right time. I hope he doesn't watch this. I turned it on right at the right time. It was during a kickoff. The dude was just running around looking for somebody to hit. As 6 guys are tackling his guy at the 15-yard line.
Dude, he said that to me. He's like, "You see me getting in those celebrations?" I was like, "Dude, every touchdown, you were just jumping
cracking up."
Yeah, I literally saw him on camera just every time Akron scored. I was like, that dude's really trying to get on camera.
He was like, hey, on the sideline.
You gotta get them TikTok dance. What can you say?
Oh God, please don't watch this.
Hey, we're already past the 10-minute mark, so that crushes most people's watch time for this. So he's long gone at this point. All right, I want to hear Jake's first. You never start for real top 10s.
We'll get you just a real top 10 here. Obviously, Ohio State's number 1. Nobody can stop that offense.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
You got a nice little look there, Manius, huh?
Just go.
Notre Dame, number 2.
You're not Joey.
Beat the best team in the country. Got to give them number 2. We'll give Bama number 3. They haven't lost yet. They've been looking good. Number 4, my college football playoff team, Cincinnati. Nobody can stop them. Nobody can score on them.
With you.
Yeah, nobody can stop them because they haven't played anybody.
They've played.
yeah.
they've
Who's gonna
played their
stop
American.
them, dude? Come on.
Dude, Desmond Ritter is a really
Come
good
on.
quarterback, and their defense can hang. They can hang with anyone.
Legit.
I'm not saying they're not good.
Fumble.
I mean, just go. I'll say it later.
Yeah,
All right, number 5, Clemson. Got to prove it again. Got to get back in that top 4.
They will.
6, Florida. Florida actually has one of the best offenses in college football with Kyle Trask. He actually looks like a Heisman, which is very surprising.
Mhm.
7, A&M, even though they beat Florida.
Yeah. Time out. Wait, A&M beat them head to head.
I did the same thing.
Luke.
The same thing.
They both have one loss.
In the rest of the games, Florida's looked better.
But
I
they
like that
lost.
Georgia win too. I like that Georgia
Exactly.
win.
Georgia stinks. What's Georgia done?
Yeah. I mean, they killed them though. I mean, we're talking
Georgia
about
was
this
up on
Georgia
Alabama
State
for most of
team.
the game.
This team
Not
was
the
in
whole second
people's
half.
top 4 in this chat.
Most of the game, though.
Not most of the game, just the first half. And then Alabama's like, oh yeah, they got their best defensive player back, then destroyed Stetson Bennett, who stinks with a capital
He's
S.
terrible, dude.
He's
Yeah, he's bad.
not good.
40% of his yards this year have come on passes behind the line of scrimmage.
Dude, I swear I heard some things that there's like a conspiracy about that JT Daniels why
Yeah.
he's not playing, but I don't know how you don't play him, dude.
Yeah.
Just
Makes
give him a
no
shot.
sense.
Bennett's
Oh,
horrible.
real quick, since we're talking about conspiracies, I have my own conspiracy theory here.
Boy.
Oh, dear God.
Tinfoil hat.
Are you ready for this? Because
No.
I know you guys are. You guys are all gonna hate me for this, and I'm not saying I would be doing it too. But Columbus is in a purple zone right now, and I find it very suspect that I haven't seen one Ohio State football player test positive for COVID.
That just speaks of Ryan Day. I mean,
It better. I mean,
discipline,
I'm a
bro.
little
That's
shaky
discipline.
about that.
I'm sorry, we
That's
just have a
discipline,
great culture
dude.
down at Ohio State, Frank. We're just built different.
Look, no. I mean, I'm not saying like I'm just saying like if like Ohio State happens to get COVID, like I'm not gonna blame it on that. Like it's just it happens like that. But like I just find it sus that the whole entire county is purple and Ohio State students get COVID left and right, and like the football team's fine.
I'll explain your conspiracy theory a little bit here.
That John Gruden?
I
tell you what, man. That's pretty suspect to me, man.
I got a guy who works over at Buckeye Nuts, which is like the big like Ohio State reporting company.
Yeah.
And before the season started, they had 59 COVID cases on the football team. So they all had it already.
That a boy.
Well,
Get it
that's
early,
smart.
baby.
They can't
You
get
get
it.
all to them before the season, then now they're good.
Yeah, they got it out of their system.
All right. Well, then you know what? Then I revoke my conspiracy theory.
Yeah. So and like it's
Conspiracy
until
solved.
January. Like February is like the COVID time of when you could probably get it again. So we just have to
Yeah.
last that long, or a vaccine. I'll take either.
Yeah, that's what I tell my mom. Like, I have 3 months immunity now. Relax.
That's not fair, though.
Yeah,
All
I know.
Dude,
I'll
You
get
on
it
your
next
top
week.
10, Jake?
What'd you say?
Are you on your top 10?
Yeah, I'm on number 8. BYU, I don't know. Starting to lose faith in them. A defense just kind of sucks. I don't like them.
Thank God.
Zach Wilson is legit, though, so we'll give them number 8.
That's a day 1, day 2 QB in the NFL draft.
Yeah, I agree for sure. Then number 9, I'm starting to like Graham Mertz. He's showing up now. But I don't know. We'll let him play some more games. Then number 10, I'm serious about this. Coastal, baby.
I'm fine with
Proving it
that.
week in and week out. Just beating up everybody. Then
I
honorable
respect. No, I love it, Jake. You want to know why? They win. Winning
win.
is more important than losing. If he's playing something
Oh,
Get the drop.
So if YSU goes
Wow.
10-0, you're gonna put them in the
I was gonna
top
say,
10?
so Kent
Of the
State,
FCS,
if Kent
yes.
State goes 6-0,
They're kicking
are
ass,
we in
yeah.
the playoffs?
Yeah.
Oh, we
Yeah,
like
I don't
Kent
know.
State.
So
They
they play-
win. If they win out, I trust Kent State more than Coastal.
Yeah.
I don't.
No.
I love Kent. I'm probably like Kent's biggest fan. No. There's a
Yeah,
small.
they don't have very many big fans.
I'm like up there.
It's a big test this week against Buffalo.
If they beat Buffalo, we're running the table, and then
Yeah.
I'm claiming a national title. So,
I'll make the banner.
if we go 7-0, I'm
Yeah.
without a doubt there's a national title. Astros,
1803 after party.
And we'll get to the honorable mention real quick.
Sponsored by
Liberty.
Storm Morgan.
Storm's face shields.
Honorable mentions.
Honorable mention. Liberty. Should get the job done every week. Marshall as well. And obviously, Dustin Chrome and State Golden Flashes.
Love it. Yeah, Marshall didn't make my honorable mentions because I don't like their colors. That's honestly why they got left out.
Have you ever seen the movie We Are Marshall?
I
We
don't.
are
That movie's
Marshall.
so overrated. I get it's sad.
What do you mean it's overrated?
It's
Drew?
not
The
that
fucking
good.
plane
So you
crash.
just don't care about the plane crash?
No, I don't. I'm gonna
You don't
keep
care
it
about
real.
those, 63 people? You asshole.
Sad. It's sad in real life. The movie stinks. The movie's horrible.
Jesus.
Keeping
It's
it real.
Matthew McConaughey, bro. It's automatic 10 out of 10. All right.
All right.
Yeah, for that impression, you're up now. So there you go.
All right. Thank God. All right, folks. I'll give you a real top 10 here. Yeah, pull it up. Number 1, Roll Tide, Alabama. I think Ohio State could be 1, not gonna lie. With that being said, I have Notre Dame too. I have Notre Dame too. And going back to the Ohio State thing, how I said they could be 1. I think Ohio State's good. Bama, you got the Bama Ohio State flip flop, whatever. I'm okay with it, I guess. Not really. Bama's 1. But the reason I have OSU 3 is because Notre Dame, obviously, I mean, coming off a win at like Clemson and being like showing up against Boston College, just they're 2. I'm sorry, they're 2. Ohio State, and number 4, I got the Tigers still. I mean, I still think one loss team 4th. I got Clemson. You know, it's going to come down to that ACC championship game. So it really does. I mean, it matters. It all depends on that ACC championship game. Is what I'm getting to. 5, I got Jake's playoff team, Cincy. They moved up a lot. They gained my respect, but like I said, can't see them as a playoff team. You know, if it comes down to like a Notre Dame or Clemson, I'm picking Notre Dame or Clemson in the playoff over Cincy. 6, I rolled with Jake here. I have the Gators over Texas A&M, who's 7. I mean, I great win against Georgia. I mean, if Georgia beats them, we're talking about Georgia again. I know someone's not here right now, but he had Georgia in his top 4 about 4 weeks ago, and that was a big argument. But great win, love it. Chomp chomp. Quarterback's getting hot, and it's perfect time to get hot. 7, Texas A&M. I know they beat Florida, but they got smacked by Bama. It could change. 8, I have BYU. They stink. I'm not even going to talk about them. 9, I have the U. 7 and 1.
Frauds.
You never know, man. They could sneak in. I'm not saying they could sneak in the playoff. They could sneak in that ACC championship game. Law can happen. And you never know. They sneak in that ACC championship game. They win it. I mean, you got to put them in.
Who are they sneaking in over?
What if like a Notre Dame or Clemson loses again?
To who? Who's Clemson losing to?
Unlikely.
What if they lose? Oh,
They're
you
not.
must not check them boys' schedule. Last game of the year.
No.
H2P, baby.
That's Clemson by 60.
Oh yeah, we're their kryptonite. Anyway, that's a different time. And then 10, I didn't even want to put them in there, but I did. Indiana, just because they're undefeated and they have.
Who's your daddy?
They have I actually don't mind Indiana, but they have the Buckeyes, and I think they're gonna get crushed and exposed. So Just want to clarify another thing too. Penn State sucks.
Yeah, it's bad.
Horrible. So
State's
when
horrible.
you hear me ripping on the Big Ten, like I mean I refer to the Penn State's Michigan, and then you have a team like Indiana who doesn't play anybody and then just skyrockets to 10. So that's why I always say the Big Ten's overrated.
Because Indiana's
Not
kind
the
of like
best this year.
dominated though. Other than the Penn State game to like turn.
I'm not saying Indiana's like horrible. I'm just saying I don't see them as 10 in the country, or what their actual ranking is 9, I
9.
believe, right?
Mhm.
Yeah. So I think that'll get exposed. But I mean, hey, you never know. I like their coach.
Yeah, Tom Allen's a good guy.
Yeah.
All right.
All right, Luke.
Not a lot of complaints other than Ohio State 3 and Florida got dominated by Texas A&M. Like, if anyone watched that game, it wasn't even really close.
There's just
Early.
no defense.
Yeah, but Texas A&M actually made stops. Kyle Trask was very vulnerable in that game.
It was literally just Kyle Trask versus Kellen Mond, whoever had the ball.
Yeah,
last.
but like as much as you don't want to say this, they lost at the right time.
Yeah,
Like,
no,
they
I
lost
agree.
early.
I
Like-
think Florida can beat them again, and I would pick Florida because I picked Florida the first time they played. I'd probably pick them again, but they lost. I mean, it's just for me. It's you lost. You had your shot and you didn't beat them. That's like if I think Clemson's a better team than Notre Dame, I'm not gonna put them over them. And you probably think Clemson's a better team than Notre Dame too, Frank, as well. You know,
Oh yeah, definitely. And
Bill
I
Wise
think
and
Ohio
Clemson
State
have Notre Dame.
and I think Ohio State's better than Notre Dame, but I mean, it's just the fact. I don't know, man.
Yeah.
I'm just glad I'm not on that damn committee.
Yeah.
They don't have a fun job. All right. Well, I want to go last today. So, Luke, you're up next.
Okay. So yeah, number 1, I got Bama. 2, Notre Dame. That Clemson win, that's impressive. And I think they have the impressive win against Clemson, and then they also have surviving the next trap game against Boston College. Came out and survived, did really well.
That was impressive. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I thought that was impressive too.
And who'd they have before Clemson?
Like Wake. Is it that week or Georgia Tech, whatever the fuck it is?
Maybe I'm not, but I'm just saying I think that they have that good that nice upset win against a tough team, and then surviving that trap game. 3, I'm gonna go OSU. 4, Clemson. What I will say with them putting Clemson at 4, they've kind of already established the fact that even though Notre Dame beat them, they're not going to drop Clemson out of the top 4. So now when you get into the situation where it's going to be Clemson versus Notre Dame again, how are you going to say Clemson beating Notre Dame this time should drop Notre Dame out of the top 4? I think
Unless they absolutely kill them.
You can't, because if you've already established that Notre Dame beating Clemson, you're not dropping you out of the top 4. I don't think you can come back and be like, okay, well now this time we're going to drop Notre Dame out of the top 4. So I think the committee kind of they screwed that up.
I gotta ask, is that but I mean I just gotta say, I have a question. Is that the committee?
No, that's
Have they
AP,
started
isn't
that
it?
yet?
No.
Or is it
That's
just
next-
AP?
Well,
Yeah, I was gonna
AP,
say it's
but
AP. So like the committee could come
still.
out and say like Cincy's 4, and then we understand. We're like, oh,
Yeah.
When do those rankings start? Does anybody know?
Next week.
That's what I thought.
Oh,
Okay.
Wednesday.
okay.
Is it? Okay, that was Tuesdays.
but I agree with you, Luke. That's a good point. Like if Clemson does beat Notre Dame, what do you do? Like, do you keep them?
Yeah.
I mean, obviously Clemson skyrockets in,
Yeah.
but I mean,
Yeah.
If
I
it's
don't
a
know what
close
you do.
game, Notre Dame's not going outside the top 4. Now, if they lose by like 20,
see, I think the committee's proven. Correct me if I'm wrong. Didn't Georgia lose to Alabama and they got in the championship?
Alabama lost to Georgia.
no,
Yeah,
I think
you're.
The 4, correct?
Georgia was undefeated, made the playoffs, and then beat them and lost in the championship.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Well, I mean, I think that's like a thing to remember. So the committee's not afraid to do that, something like that. But that's when you have these SEC teams that come sneaking up like Florida and stuff, and you have I don't know. I mean, since he's there, they gotta win, and they gotta keep winning big. That's like gotta be
Yeah.
their main thing.
So
Keep
then, yeah,
around those fake punts.
I put Cincy.
Yeah, that was fucked up.
They're undefeated. Yeah, that
See, they called on the field.
See, I love that call though, because now people aren't gonna blitz as hard on those. If you got a fake punt showing, you can come
Oh,
out of
that
that.
big?
No, it said what I heard was who's that against? Eastern Carolina, right?
Yeah.
So wherever that coach used to be, he used to run up the score on everybody. So I heard that's why they did it.
Good. I love
I
it.
like. You know what? I flip flop. I like that then. So then, yeah, I got 6 A&M. I like Florida, but I can't put Florida ahead of them. They lost, and especially A&M's loss was to Alabama. Like,
Getting their ass kicked, yeah.
I don't know. They got their ass kicked, but it's Bama, dude. I mean, and again, yeah, I just can't. Yeah, I can't do that. It's like what Drew said. I think Clemson's probably better than Notre Dame, but you have to respect the fact that Notre Dame beat Clemson, so you put them ahead. So then I have 7 Florida, 8 Wisconsin. Yeah, that Graham Mertz dude, he's a dog. I think someone might have messed with my list here. I do not have Akron at number 9. I think I had Indiana in that spot actually. So Indiana was in number 9. Like I think Frank mentioned it, but yeah, I mean after this week, I don't think Indiana's. I think they'll probably still be ranked, but I'm saying at least 20. Yeah. So 10. I have a tie, Miami and BYU. I like Miami, dude. There's something about that team. I like what Frank was saying, that there's that possibility that they somehow sneak in. Like, I don't know. That just fancies me that it could
Derek
happen.
isn't made for that.
We're about to find out.
No, I think Miami kind of stinks, and I
disagree.
I think the ACC is a little worse than everyone this year, so I think it's more.
I just like entertaining. I'd like entertaining that idea though, that Miami could just be like, just come up from behind and
Yeah, that's what I'm
pull it
saying.
off. So,
Okay, but
Maybe
that's
pivot
where
too.
this is where it pisses me off. This is where I get pissed. Because the ACC does suck. But people won't acknowledge that the Big Ten sucks too.
I said it's worse this year.
But they do suck. The
Suck less
reason
than
why
the
you guys
ACC.
don't think they suck is because the ACC doesn't have teams like Penn State who are ranked 9 to start the season and who haven't won a game yet.
Penn State sucks.
All right, okay. I would say this year, yes, Big Ten doesn't look good, but I think last year, Big Ten was. We had how many teams did we have ranked? The top 25.
7.
They
then they
lose their
all-
bowl games.
They won their bowl games though. They've
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, actually,
I
yeah,
think
didn't
last
they?
year
the
was the
past
year
3
where I
years
admitted
we've
I
had
was
a
like
winning bowl
I was
I
wrong.
was gonna say,
They
Big
won their
Ten.
I don't like the bowl game argument.
I
A
don't
lot of teams
either.
don't give a fuck
I don't
about it.
either. Right, that's what I'm saying. You have like half dudes that are like, oh, we're preparing for the draft, or just
Okay, I
some
like it
bullshit
because
out
you're
in the
in
middle
the
of
season
nowhere.
you're playing the Big Ten. So like I mean it's like I mean what the fuck? Like
because I think the
and
Big
you
Ten
go
has
play
two
another
really good teams.
conference and you get smacked, or you smack them and prove that you're good.
When I think of the conferences, when I think of the ACC, I just say Clemson, and I'm like, okay, that's it. Like it's Clemson. It's always Clemson. When I think of the Big Ten, I think there's always that possibility that like an Ohio State versus Penn State or an Ohio State for Michigan game is going to be, crazy. Like something could happen, or even like a Wisconsin. I think there's just a lot of like teams. Iowa's another one. Minnesota. I think those are all teams that are like they could come out each week and they're going to compete. I think for the most part, when Clemson comes out, there's never really that like, oh, I think Clemson could trip up this week. I don't feel that. In the SEC, same thing. It's like the Big Ten. I think every week it's like you're having just some type of competition. Yeah, Alabama's probably the top, but I still think there's those teams that sneak in. They'll have an upset every other week, and I don't see that in the ACC at all.
I think you have your top tier. I think you have your top tiers. You have your Alabama, you have your Ohio State, you have your Clemson. So that's your top tier. They're going to be good every single year. Every single year. So you take them out of the picture. Compared to the ACC, the Big Ten is better. Yeah, I'm not going to argue that. But it's not like, I mean, it's not by, they get more like hype
Well,
then
this year it's more comparable because I think other than
I
Wisconsin,
agree.
the Big Ten's pretty bad. But
I
usually
agree.
a Penn State team. I mean, last year they beat Kentucky in a bowl game, who was 9-3.
Penn State, Minnesota last year was tough. I mean,
Minnesota
Michigan.
stinks.
Michigan, yeah.
yeah, I mean last year I'll give them credit. They were good. They were pretty good last year. But these other years in this year, I'm just saying like I just don't buy into it. And like I can understand the hate towards the ACC and the SEC sometimes too. Even though I still think the SEC is cream of the crop.
Oh, well, I mean,
Without a
yeah.
doubt.
I definitely say it's SEC and Big Ten's below for sure. But
Yeah.
I think
I
with
mean,
the
I
ACC
agree.
too, in the last like 7 years, I think it's been a different team in the conference championship every time.
It has.
So it's
It
just
has.
like you throw it up and it's like, okay, one of these teams is gonna come out, but it's like I never feel like it's like, oh, Virginia's gonna take down Clemson in the ACC conference game. Like, it's just not gonna happen. But
Well, I will say
I don't
one
know.
thing. The thing that kind of killed the ACC a little bit is Florida State's downfall. Just
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah,
get worse every
that's
year.
a good point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then there's like the teams like Louisville really haven't been like a Minnesota type team where you're like they could upset.
and then you had those teams like this year. You had like a team like North Carolina who's supposed to be good, and then they're losing games they shouldn't be losing. And I mean Miami. I still think Miami's good, but True
No.
doesn't.
Luke just can't go a whole recording without going pee, which is just absurd.
I thought he was gonna pee in the camera.
That would have been amazing, actually.
I was watching. I was like, oh.
All right.
That was quick.
Let me do my top
Really
10. We can
funny.
get into
See,
NFL.
pees
It's really
once every
funny,
hour.
Drew. Really funny, Drew, that you make fun of a medical condition. Something I have to go to the doctor for.
Show me your medical slip.
Yeah. Well, what is the
I've been
condition?
going to the doctor for the last like 2 weeks. We're trying to figure it out, man.
It's just
Dude,
called
pay
small
attention to those commercials during football games. They talk about it like 6 times a game.
Dude, I don't know what it is.
They have medication for that stuff.
I'm gonna feel really bad when Luke does have like a serious medical condition. I'm like, oh, he's just
He
a
definitely
female. He's got
does.
a female bladder.
Yeah, I
He pees
don't know if
9
it-
times every football game.
Dude,
Unless
it
he sleeps
could
there
just-
like the Steelers
It
games.
could just be a super small bladder, but
He won't be
I don't
sleeping
know, dude. We're
Thursday,
trying to figure it
baby.
out.
He probably will be.
Dude, I know. I was gonna say that. I'm worried about that. I can't stay up for a 4:25 game. What's gonna
You don't
happen
sleep
with
on the way there.
8:30?
You better not eat too
Yeah,
much for
honestly.
Thanksgiving.
All right.
Yeah, some Permani brothers.
It messed up my order out.
Oh, that
Just
one.
Jagoff's working tonight.
Yeah, they got the.
How often do
beef.
you get it?
Me?
Yeah.
You know. I go downtown at least twice a week.
Dude, I wrote a paper about that. I got an 85% on it, man.
Whoa. There you go.
Oh, it was
Pretty
good. I thought you should
I
have got
cranked it
better.
out. I cranked it out in probably like 3 hours too. So, yeah,
It was actually pretty well written. I'll give you
it
credit.
was, yeah.
She
Yeah, it
was
pretty
she was
decent.
probably a stooge. She was a stooge giving you an 85.
Honestly.
She's
I
just
have
a
no
Browns
idea
fan.
what a leer is, but okay. She probably thought I made the whole thing up. She's like, nobody's a leer. What?
All right. Before we get into our NFL talk, let me just do my top 10. We'll just do it quickly so we can just jump in the NFL. Ohio State 1. That's just bias. Simply no other reason. Bama 2, because I think Notre Dame sucks. They're still frauds in my book. I don't care. Notre Dame 3, because they did beat Clemson, and I think Clemson is good. Cincy 4, above Clemson because they're undefeated. Clemson 5, still Clemson. A&M 6, above Wisconsin. I think Wisconsin is legit. Graham Mertz. And I think it's that defense. Their defense is actually probably the best in the country right now. BYU 8. I don't know why I have them 8. I probably have them 9 actually with Florida. Probably would flip-flop them. I just wrote that wrong. Florida 9. Below them because I think Wisconsin is just that good. And then Indiana 10. A couple other things in my notes from Frank. But besides that, any complaints?
No. I think,
Couple,
yeah,
but we'll let it go.
that's 7 to 10. I mean, you really
That one
can't
spot's
really like
sus.
be too specific.
All right. Well,
I
NFL
have to
time.
agree, man. I am an Ohio State fan, but
I'm biased. I'm just putting it out there. I'll admit it. I just think Justin Fields. I'm just hoping he wins us a natty. That's all. So
What about last
NFL.
year?
Don't talk about that. I've watched. That's the one like team lost.
That's like,
I've
that's
watched that game
traumatic.
100 times.
That
And
is
it's just like
traumatic.
I could not do that.
That's like me in the
I've not
freaking.
watched it.
That's
I've
me
not
in the.
watched it
That's
once.
me in the
I
Yeah.
Steelers
refuse.
Jaguars playoff game. I sit down once a
Boat.
month and watch the highlights from that game.
I think. Wait, what? The other one's the freaking Denver game when Tim
Oh,
Tebow came
my
in through that.
Tebow, baby.
That keeps me up at night, dude. That was disgusting.
The worst part about that is when that memory comes like around on Twitter, it's like 15 years ago today.
Yeah.
7 people sent that to me, and I'm just like, please stop.
me. He's talking about
Wait,
me.
hey, who did he throw
I'm
it
just
to?
like-
Was it Sanders?
I thought wasn't it Demaryius Thomas?
It might have been.
Yeah, it was
I just knew they were
Demaryius
both there.
Demaryius Thomas.
He stiff arm Night Taylor, and I was like, yep.
Dude, I literally, I still remember watching that. He caught it. My dad was like, "That's game." Like he was just like,
Dude,
once he caught
I remember my dad was so pissed after that game. He was like, they need to fire Tomlin right now. He's like, that team was a Super Bowl team, and we just lost to Tim Tebow.
we do not care.
Before we get into NFL, let's just talk about something actually. What's the worst loss you've ever had as a fan?
Oh, Jesus.
All right,
As
I'll
a fan or
go.
as a player, because I can go as a player this past summer against softball.
That was horrible. I don't even want to talk about that.
Yeah,
No.
I just had to say
That's a whole
just to
we
be
need.
funny, but
That's what we need. We need a whole episode just to talk about that
Oh
game.
my gosh.
sick, dude. My stomach's starting to hurt just
We'll
thinking
do
about
fan.
it.
Do fan.
All right.
Yeah, I'll try to think.
I'll go.
Can we do
obvious
2? Can we
answer.
do 1 playoff and then 1 like another one?
Yeah, I'll go obvious. Just game 7 for the Indians because we were there.
Oh.
I mean, like that one. I honestly, it's more of even game 5 because we had them. We had them there, and we just couldn't put them away. So that's my easy one, and then a harder one would be I think. All right, so the next year, 2017, Indians are in the playoffs. That's a significantly better Indians team, and we lose to the Yankees in game 3, 4, and 5. After we won game 2 and making that insane comeback, I thought there's no way we can lose. And then Ohio State this year or last year was horrible. And Cavs, they don't even break your heart. They just suck when they lose. So you're like, oh, there was no chance. Like that JR game sucked, but like,
Yeah.
well, we got thumped by 30 3 straight games after that. So I don't think I have anything else really. I mean, like Ohio State always has a bunch of heartbreaking losses. Like when they lose, they make sure to rip your heart out. Like even like a Purdue game was the most angry I think I've been after a loss where Purdue.
I
But they cheated.
was just irritated.
I'm gonna say Purdue cheated for that game. They had Tyler, what's his name? They had a kid who had like cancer, couldn't leave his bed.
Just stop.
Oh,
That's cheating.
I
They won for him. They did everything in their power to win for that kid. I mean, Purdue literally was like crying after the game, like, thank you. You gave me the strength to win this game. They're like, if you can do anything, I can do anything. That's cheating. Like, you can't beat that. If any team has that, you can't lose. And
That's not cheating. I don't think
All
that's
right,
cheating.
I'm gonna talk about mine just to cut you off.
You know I'm right too.
I don't think it's cheating. I mean, no, I don't.
It's
think
cheap.
cheating.
That's
But
unfair.
that's not.
All right, so I have a few, but I'm gonna just like put some special. Obviously, you got to go with the Super Bowl. I mean, I was crushed when we lost the Super Bowl to Green Bay. That'd have been 7.
green
Yeah.
and yellow.
I was young, so I mean, it didn't. Honestly, it hurts worse now when we lose than when I was young. But
Yeah.
so the most painful loss. Obviously, I just talked about the Jaguar game, but I'm gonna go to my most painful loss in person. Was the reason we were even at that Jaguar game in the first place was the Jesse James touchdown catch. I
yes.
literally went from we are
Dude.
going to the Super Bowl, Tom Brady's gonna have to come through us, everybody's coming through us, to he just ripped my heart out. I mean, in a
Dude.
matter of like 5, I'm jumping up and down. I'm like, what are they reviewing? Like, he's obviously in. Because, like, I mean, I'm there, so we're all happy. And then the dude comes out and he goes, he dropped it. And we're like looking at the replay, like, when did he drop it? And that one was so bad. I mean, I remember
Dude,
just walking down the ramp just the whole time. Just my heart just felt like it was ripped out. Like, especially because you all know how much I hate Brady. I mean,
Go.
I'm probably 1-7 at his games all time, and that would have made it 2. And I mean that was the year for us. That was the year. That year will always haunt me because the next most painful game was definitely the playoff game. I mean, like, down 21-0, and then what do you know? Come back, and our defense couldn't stop Blake Bortles. I mean, that was just
The
sickening.
boat.
Yep. The boat. I
Just
mean, it's
sickening.
Blake Bortles. He's elite. So
That's
Dude, Frank,
so.
I forgot about that one. That one sucked, dude. I was definitely screaming, cursing at my TV.
I was devastated that one.
You were
Like,
up for
I
it?
didn't talk to anybody for at least 3 days after that one. Like, I was in school with my Steeler gear still on, just like sitting at my desk, like just like thinking like what that feeling was like when they called it a touchdown. Because it's not like oh, like, dang, we didn't score. Like, they called it a touchdown, and then it got taken back, and then in typical bad fashion, you threw a pick the next play.
Yeah, that one sucked.
Yeah, so that's probably my worst.
Spain.
I mean, it'd be both ones you said with the Cavs or the Indians. But what I'm very good at as a sports fan, something bad happens, I'd wipe it from my memory within like 24 hours.
I never.
And
How?
when people talk about it, like, I just walk away. And like I
I
just try
sit
and
there
never
and
think about
I
it
watch
again.
the game over again, pretending like
I can't
something
do that.
good's gonna happen.
I'm not gonna do that.
You want to know how many times I've watched that 2016 Indians run, thinking at one point this is the year they're gonna win it, like it's gonna change or something.
I was at B-dubs with Rubino until like 2:30 a.m. when that game ended. It was
Dude,
just
I
us
feel
and like 2 other
Spain,
people.
I think I came with you guys, but I ended up
Yeah, everybody
leaving
else
early.
left.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, rain delay, we're just gonna go home. I was like, nope, I'm not leaving here. We're winning.
I went to
And then cheer with
bed.
the
I
other
was
2
like,
people there.
oh, rain delay. Good night.
Yeah.
I like almost fell asleep on my couch just watching that because it was just like it was so late at that point. All my adrenaline had kind of like cooled off, and it was just that was the worst. I don't want to talk about it anymore.
Dude, it was the Indians, and I was like, you know what? I don't hate the Indians. And then they got to the World Series, and then that's when all the people came out. Like, I had I'm not gonna say their name. I'm not gonna say,
No,
say
you gotta
their
say
name.
it. Dude, we are over an hour into this podcast. No
Yeah,
one.
we've been going for a minute.
I had like I had Olivia Whistler in my freaking ear in Spanish class talking about the Indians, and that's when I'm just like, fuck it,
Clip that.
go Cubs. like
Add
I
it.
didn't even care. Like, I was cheering for the Indians, and then someone just had to pull me back into the dark side, and I had to cheer for the Cubs. And when he hit the home run, I'm a baseball fan. I was like, that's freaking awesome. Like, that's sick. And then, I start going to the Indians, and then you get the text messages, and then you're like, let's go Cubs. And and then I fell asleep and woke up, and it was one of those things where it's like, oh, they won. Cool. I still hate the Cubs, though.
Fuck the Cubs.
Yeah, I that night I went to bed and I don't think I slept. I was just so angry. I just laid in bed, like just eyes open. Like I wasn't even trying to sleep. My phone was down. I think I deleted Twitter that night because I was like, I can't go on it. Like, no, I deleted it before the game because I did that for the Cavs game 7 because I was like, I don't need to be on Twitter if we lose for the Cavs. So I did the same thing for the Indians. I was like, I don't need to be on Twitter if we lose. So it sucks. Luke.
Yeah. Yeah, that Clemson game last year, that really wrecked me. I mean, I literally like went home and I couldn't. Like I said, I will not watch. I guarantee I would never watch highlights from that game ever again. I just can't.
haven't.
Like, I think that was one of those games where I was literally sick to my stomach.
Dude, I walked in
over the scenarios. Yeah, you were there, Frank.
I walked in. I got there late. I walked in as Ohio State was driving. 2 plays later, he threw the pick.
Dude,
I did not say anything. I didn't want to be a dick.
Wagner. Frank was cool. Jared
I was
Wagner,
keeping my
a
mouth shut because I
Michigan.
know that feeling. Like I was just dead quiet. I was like, I'm
Yeah,
not gonna say
Jared
anything.
Wagner's there. He's a Michigan fan. He's chirping in my ear about this. I'm like, dude, we ran you off the face of the earth 62-39. What are you even doing here? It's like that pissed me off. But I probably this is a weird one, but I was pretty disappointed. It was like game one of the Cavs game when it was the LeBron with JR when he messed that up. I'm not like a huge basketball fan. I didn't become a basketball fan until the Cavs won that championship. But for some reason, like when that happened, I remember driving home and I was like, dude, like that really sucked. Like I watched that play over and over again. I was like,
We were together, bro. We were at
yeah, we were at
Alex's.
Alex's. Yeah. I was like, dude, that hurt me. Like I was like,
Dude,
what the heck? Like
I have a
it
Snapchat
sucked.
memory. I have a Snapchat memory. I'm eating cereal, and it's 2 days after that game, and
Mm.
I saved it, and I was just like, and I'm just like this, and I go, what was Jr. thinking? And it
Yeah,
was two
I,
days after. I was that Drew. I don't that bothered me too, because I'm just like, come on.
yeah, that was like a weird one for me though, because I was like, dude, I don't really like care that much about basketball, but I was like, man, like
My
that
thing was
sucked.
LeBron was unstoppable that game. And it made like
That's what,
in
yeah, I
that
think
game,
that's why I was
he
pissed.
doesn't
He's
break
like,
his
what,
hand then
51?
because he gets angry at JR. Little girl, LeBron breaks his maybe, I guess.
Shut up,
Dude,
Drew.
he got so angry at JR, he broke his hand and then couldn't do anything the next 3 games in the series.
Yeah,
Still
listen.
gets
I'm
it
gonna
up.
be honest. I think everybody knew it when they lost that game. I knew they were
Oh,
done.
I
You
know. I
always
was
got to
like,
steal
I'm
the
done.
first game. You got to steal the first one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
6 more tries. And I knew we weren't gonna win. I didn't go into that series thinking, oh, we're without Kyrie this year. We got a better shot at the Warriors. No, like
Especially that was like probably a defining moment of when LeBron was like, yeah,
Listen,
I'm done.
one of my,
I'm
my
leaving.
favorite Cavs game though was Ryan Luther through his parties, and it
oh,
was game seven, Cavs Celtics, and I got there early and we watched the whole game, and he went off, and we went to the final. I mean, he went off. I was like, that was besides the one after he won. That was the moment where I was like, this dude is like, we just need to appreciate this guy at like right now.
I've got a great
Appreciate
story about
greatness.
that game. So I was on a date with a girl during that game. I checked my phone.
Ooh.
I was losing my mind. Like it
Name
was
her.
like I finally like, checked my phone. It's like beginning of third quarter. I was like, I gotta go home. Like I'm like I can't. Like I was like I missed the whole first half of a game 7. Didn't check score or anything. I was freaking out. So I get home beginning of fourth quarter, and my dad's just sitting there like, how did you miss this much of a playoff game? He's like, wow, wow. He was
Dude,
disappointed.
my dad wouldn't for when the Steelers went on their run and lost in the championship AFC championship to the Patriots. And Drew, you would know, you know how like Jenna would always have us over to like watch the games because they have like three. Well, for the two games, I went and watched it on like in their basement, and my dad was like, "Don't talk to me, and don't ask me for me, or don't ask tickets from me ever again." For like 2 weeks, he didn't talk to me because I didn't watch the games with them. I had to earn his respect back. So now the big joke is like, "Are you gonna go watch the Salvos, the basement?" I'm like, "Shut up, Dad."
That was, dude, that when they won that championship game, honestly, dude, that was like probably one of like the coolest like sports moments, I think, for a lot of people. But it was for me because like my dad and dude, I never watched basketball in my life. That was the first year that I actually like paid attention to basketball. And I literally remember watching with my dad, and like when they won, my dad and I like both. Dad knows way less about basketball. We both like jumped up. You would have thought we were like lifelong fans. Like we were like, oh my god, like this is happening. We did one of those like double high five, like weird like celebrations, dude. Yeah, it
Dude, I got
shows, man.
I got
It was
goosebumps from that,
awesome.
bro, because I feel that like I'll never forget that either. And
Oh
just
yeah.
because like I mean the dude's from here, like Akron. I mean not here, but I mean same zip code. Like It's just incredible. It's incredible. I mean,
Mhm.
it,
Oh,
it
you know,
was.
I was in
hey,
downtown Cleveland for that.
hey.
I had the stomach flu, or I had like food poisoning, so I missed the whole first half of that game.
Oh my god.
I was walking around downtown Cleveland. I think we might push NFL games back at this point till another show because we're pretty late in this one. But
Oh, we're good. No one watches it anyway.
that's fair. Good point.
If someone gets
Or
to
you could
this
just
point,
cut it and we do it after that.
But I was just I was looking all around for like somewhere to go to the bathroom because everything was closed. Either it was packed and you weren't allowed in, or you had to pay. And I didn't have a wallet then. I was 15 and a half, so I wasn't carrying around my wallet yet. So I finally found a place to go to the bathroom, and it's Jack's Casino. So I walk in and I asked dude, like, where's the bathroom? He's like, where's your ID? I'm like, I don't have one. I'm 15 and a half. I had like my permit, I guess, but I didn't have it with me. Didn't need it. He wouldn't let me go to the bathroom. Like, I thought I was just going to drop my pants and just go to the bathroom right there. I was so mad at him. I had to walk 2 more miles downtown. The only play I saw of the first half was just like through like a bar, like screen was Shumpert hitting that like fall away 3. I was like,
Oh,
hey, Frank, and you know, Chance, he was like, yeah, when they scored. He was going nuts.
I was just hugging people in downtown. Like people like would were I was with my uncle and my cousin, and just random people would come up to you and be like, just hug. It was just everyone was just so happy.
Awesome.
no, mine's like Luke. I just watched it with my dad, and I was just like, just goosebumps. Like we were just like, he was after LeBron's speech, he started crying, and he was like, he hates Cleveland, but like, yeah, he was like that dude. I mean, incredible.
Yeah.
You
All
could do
time.
what real quick. You could do what Jake said. You could cut it and then start the NFL show.
I was gonna say, I was like, we should cut these all and
Yeah.
make them into small clip, like videos.
Yeah, all right. So we're gonna end this first show. We're gonna be right back. I don't know. But thanks for watching. Check it out on the Lake Sports. That's tough. That's a tough way to end the show, but thank you guys for watching. See you guys next time.